All right, hey, good day, y'all. Hey, it's your friend, your boy, your cousin, your man's, Pastor Hank. Listen, welcome to Tough Talks Today, and my co-host, Mr. EP, across from me. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
All right, everything good?
Everything great.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, listen, I am sitting here with four amazing women. Angela Outlaw, Keisha Green, Terry Mason, and Kimberly Jordan. Hey, ladies, how y'all doing?
All right, how are you?
All right, all right. And listen, they got a story to tell, so I'm glad you guys have tuned in. And we're going to start out with Angela. Angela, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
She is multi-talented and inspiring by helping others in her community. Angela has a huge heart. She also understands the need to be a part of change. Angela has an incredible journey she's about to begin. We would love to hear more. Angela, tell us about yourself.
So I've done 25 years in the penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
And they were some hard years. It was very hard, very trying. I was definitely in the jungle, for sure. And I would just like to say that it's been a struggle since coming out. What people didn't hear or didn't catch was that, you know, I had to get it out the mud when I came home.
Okay.
By any means necessary. I didn't tell my family when I came home. I lied to them, actually. I got home December the 10th, and I told them I wasn't coming home until December the 13th because I had appointments, plans, housing, things set up. I had things going on, and I know what they wanted to do. Mm-hmm. They wanted to kick it, smoke, drink, all of that. That was not on my agenda. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They had their lives already together. I was trying to get my life together in order at the time. Mm-hmm. So I lied to them. So they wasn't there. I didn't have that luxury of my family picking me up at the gate. Right. You know, and they getting them 25-year hugs and, you know, all of that love and stuff like that. I don't know what that feel like.
Right.
Do I want to know what that feel like? Yeah, I want to know what that feel like. But I knew I had to do what I had to do for me, and I came first.
Right.
I came first.
Okay. Okay. So, Angela, two things. The 25 years that you spent in the penitentiary, how did that affect you? And also, how did it affect your loved ones, specifically your daughters?
Well, it broke me. It broke me. It broke me to pieces because when I came in the joint April 15th, 1994, well, when I got locked up in June of 1994, got locked up in Marysville, I was pregnant. And I was molested. I was date raped at the time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, my daughter was born December the 25th on Christmas Day. And she was a blessing, you know. My daughters have been affected in so many ways, you know. What happened to me happened to them. Wow. And I wasn't there to protect my kids. Because I was in a penitentiary trying to survive through the jungle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I wasn't trying to make it out to them because I couldn't focus in there and out here. Yeah. It's no way you can do your time like that. Yeah. Once you in there, it's like that becomes your world. Yeah. That becomes you looking for family at that point. Who you can link up with, who you can trust, who you can talk to, you know, when things go wrong outside of the gate. Mm-hmm. or when something is going on at home. You got to find people in there, to people you can trust, and not go gossip about your business.
Right.
And that was hard to do. That was hard to do because women, they catty. They like to gossip. You know, the things that I found out about my babies individually.
And you have 2 daughters, correct?
And I have 2 daughters.
Okay.
The things I found out about my babies individually, I found out when my daughter was 27. She came to visit me and she told me finally and that she has been touched when she was 8. And then the things that happened to my youngest daughter was unbearable for me. Unbearable. Because the person she trusted, she let in her house. They did things to her for days. Sodomized her, did everything to her for days. And he get a slap on the wrist. He get probation. And that's what I had to come home and emotionally and mentally deal with.
As well as dealing with your own
And dealing with my own trauma and my own problems. But I had to put my problems and my trauma to the side for the sake of my kids. Because I wasn't there physically to protect them, so I have to be there now for them, even mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and let them know that everybody is not like that person that did that to you. There's people out here that will really love it and care about you. My daughter was a cutter for years.
Wow. Yeah.
These are my friends, and none of them knew. She got so many marks up her arms. She ashamed of them now. She's scared to show them.
And this, I take it as a result of what happened to her.
Yes. Yes, this is a result of what happened to her. But she took all of that and she wrote a book.
Wow.
She wrote a children's book. And she put it on Amazon. And to tell people about schizophrenia and PTSD and things that people suffer from mentally.
Right.
Because she has suffered from them mentally. But she was able to put a book out, you know, and release some of her hurt and some of her feelings and some of her emotions and put it all into a book, into things that she likes to do. People may call her weird and strange. I don't think her is weird and strange. I think that she's unique.
Yes.
She likes to do the things that people would never think about doing. Strawberry picking, apple picking. Mom, you want to go apple picking? Yeah, come on, let's go apple picking. You know, I'm with it, you know. I never went apple picking before. I don't know the difference between the apples, but I'm sure going to learn today, you know what I'm saying? So we picked a bunch of apples and she baked a bunch of apple pies and brought them to the house and stuff like that. She loves doing things like that. You know, she loves giving. She's a giver. She don't take from nobody. She's a giver. You know what I'm saying? And my oldest daughter, she just need a lot of love. And I tell her, I talk to her. I try to talk to her every day. But if I don't, I talk to her today. And she knows that I love her. Because I tell her what's going on and tell me what's popping. You know, I try to talk her language. You know, we got to talk our kids' language now. Yeah. You know, we got to talk the Ebonics. What's up? What it do? You know, what happened? What's popping? You know, all of that. You know what I'm saying? It don't come simple no more. Right. Because kids don't know how to have simple conversations.
This is true. This is so true.
They don't know how to have simple conversations no more.
So it's like you say, we have to meet them where they are.
We got to meet them in the middle.
One of the things I want to say to you, Angela, first of all, we applaud you. It takes courage, it takes strength, it takes perseverance to continue to hold your head up high, especially after what you've gone through. And to consider yourself helpless, not being able to do anything for your girls because of the situation that you were in, but yet you still stand.
Yes.
So yeah. We appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you sharing a portion of your story with us, and we want to hear about the great things to come.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
For Angela, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, we got Terry in the house. We putting you on the spot. Terry was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. She is also multi-talented. She has an eye and passion for digital creating. She has a book published and carries a love for the elderly. Terry served 30 years, 1 year and 27 days. Wow. Talk to us, Terry. Start wherever you want to start. It's okay. You're amongst family and friends. It's okay. Take your time.
So, my name's Terry. Been 30 years. I was sentenced to 15 to life. I was sentenced to 15 to life, and every 5 years they would flop me. Yeah. And each time I got flopped, my biggest fear was my mother not being here. Because I knew it wasn't because of my time that they kept flopping me. I knew it was a flawed system, and I was just caught up in that web. I know I deserved to go to prison. So I was willing to do my time. But once my time was up, I didn't understand why I couldn't come home, you know?
Right.
I did everything I could do to try to be a better person. For people that I thought they were who they were. Until I came home and realized they were being somebody who they wanted me to see because they were coming in to see me. So I did everything I could. I went to college, trade school, ministry, all this stuff. But I realized one day, like, until I really change, I'm not going nowhere. And what I mean by that is all the surface stuff I was doing, but my heart wasn't changed. And I didn't start really getting serious about church and stuff like that until like my last 15 years. I'll say 12 years, my last 12 years. I was raised in a church, but I could never just find that peace. While I was locked up, I had very unhealthy relationships while I was in there. And I just had an aha moment. They started like the reintegration system down at Northeast Pre-Release where I did my last 15 years. And they had all these different units, one for boot camp, one for faith-based, one for trauma, one for this and that. I chose trauma. And that's when my life really started changing. Because I had a lot of mental health issues before I went to prison. And I was never diagnosed. But one of the things I was diagnosed with was PTSD while I was incarcerated. So that's why I went to the trauma unit. And I learned so much about me in there. I grew up with an identity crisis. I always felt like I should have been a boy and my brother should have been a girl. So I never identified as a lesbian. And when I went to prison, that's when I started having issues because I didn't.
Right.
I was 18, and so when my body started developing in different ways, and things about me as a female, I was unaware of.
Right.
And I would have to ask questions to the old timers. Old timers was like Kim. Kim was one of the people who taught me some things about being a woman. Even though I couldn't, it was hard for me to accept myself as a female. Right. Over time, I started just taking the label as a lesbian because that's what everybody else called themselves in there. But I went through a lot of mental stuff while I was locked up. Right. So even though they kept flopping me, every 5 years I learned something more about me. And to be honest, had I gone home any sooner, I wouldn't have been ready. And God gave me a vision 2 years before I got released. I was at a prayer service, and I got on my knees and was praying. I never got on my knees. I would just sit in church. I went to church all the time. And God showed me a vision. So after the prayer service, we all had to go up, and the pastor would do water and pray over us. And he asked me, what can I pray for you for? I said, well, when I was just back there, God showed me clear as day that I'm going home. And he showed me speaking on a platform. I said, so can you pray for that? Can you believe in that with me? And he prayed. And after that, I was telling my mom, everybody. But at this point, I think they gave up hope. So nobody believed me.
Right.
2 years later, I'm sitting at the parole board hearing. And it's on the screen. And I could see my family, and I could see my victim's family. And I'm at the institution, and it's a public defender right here by me. And it's looking real bad. And the public defender was like, what you think? I said, I don't care what it looked like. I know I'm going home. Because God showed me that I was going home, you know. So I sat there, and it was deep, you know. And I honestly really felt bad. I felt bad that they still wanted me to be locked up. So I had to put myself in their shoes. Like, just because I wouldn't hold a hard heart that long doesn't mean it's wrong for them to hold that hard heart.
Right.
And after my parole board hearing, you don't get your answer right away. You just get the recommendation. So I still was doing my Bible studies and all that. I was going to a Bible school. And we were going over the book Joshua. And it's a part in there where they talk about all the wars that God, things that God telling him to do, but he made sure he wins. And he said, you know, now I done brought you through this, and this. But if you go back, then I'm going to let them have you. These are my words, but this is the story. And I knew that that was my message. I've taken you. I got you through these 30 years. So when you get home, if you go back to them streets, it's over for you. But if you do what you're supposed to do, you will be protected. So I came home and I had a little fear at first about people, you know, and I got out the day they let close everything down for COVID. So the day I got out, I didn't get to have my family either. It was my mom and a few other people. But my mom was like, you know, you can't have a party, you can't do this. I didn't want a party, you know. But they took me to a house, a church, and it was like 12 people in there. And these are people I don't even know. So I don't even see, my love it's my mom, but it's all these other people. And they're telling me that they're my support team. And they were telling me each one how they were going to be instrumental in my life and helping me transition. And I was like, okay, you know, it wasn't making sense at first. And we got wear all this stuff on our face. And I know this might be big for me to say, but because I had so many issues before I went into prison, being able to wear that mask when I got out, I felt like was my safety net. And it helped me get acclimated into society. And that mask wasn't coming off until I was able to be comfortable as an adult and be out here and do what I need to do. Wow. You know, and I was always an introvert, but I did things that put me out, you know. So I had a trade. I went to cosmetology school. Okay. So I'm doing hair when I come home. But it was only that mask is what helped me be able to keep a job, because I didn't want to communicate with the customers. Right. I didn't want to have to say, hi, my name is Terry. Welcome to Great Clips. How can I help you? But with that mask, I was able to break the ice, because my mom can't hold my hand no more. I'm 50-something years old, you know.
Okay, so I don't mean to stop you, Terry, but let me ask you this. So when you say with that mask, now I want people to be clear about this, because you were saying that when you came out, COVID was there. So are you talking about the physical mask that we all wore?
Yes, the mask that we all wore.
Right.
And what I noticed is all I did was suppress things when I went to prison. They say you're supposed to get rehabilitated. I wasn't rehabilitated. So when I came home, all the things that haunted me before I went in came back. That's why the mask was so important for me. I had issues of being around people in society before I went to prison. And if it weren't for that mask, I don't think I would have mentally been able to be stable out here.
Wow. Well, you know what? We applaud you. And the reason why we applaud you, because you're talking about a mask, yet you're sitting here with your face exposed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what that lets me know is that you have come from a mighty long way. Mm-hmm. You're sitting here within public view. We live right now.
I know.
But yet you're telling us your story. So Terry, we applaud you.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add about your goals, the careers you got going? And you wrote a book.
Yes.
Okay, what's up with the book?
Well, I had met a girl in Northeast, and she was illiterate, and I ended up being her tutor, and she was telling me her story, and I had wrote a play about her story. Okay. And the play was so impactful that one day we were locked down in our cells, and I'm just about to write, and I don't know why I took the play out my lockbox. And I just started writing a book. You know, I had to add some of my stuff in it, but that's what made me write the book.
Wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Listen, against incredible odds, we have always been a resilient people. Yes. And you, Angela, are a testament to our race, mm-hmm. our people, our struggle, our triumph. And it's just a wonderful thing just to have you guys on the show and to be in your presence. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Keisha Green. All right, Keisha, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. She's multi-talented, has a passion to bring awareness to our community through acting and playwriting, talking about God, also immersing herself in HVAC, okay, along with other amazing qualities. Keisha has served 17.5 years and 27 days. Come on, Keisha, holla at the people.
My prelude to prison started when I was 7.
Okay.
I was a very violent kid. I caught my first aggravated assault case when I was 11.
Okay.
And I was born and raised in Mount Vernon, New York. We moved to Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And in New York, it's just like rough. We stayed in Bronx, New York for a long time. Went to PS 161. And then I eventually started going to Mount Vernon High when we moved back. But anyway, my violence started there. And I was just full of rage. Didn't know why. Didn't know. It would just come. It would just happen.
Question. So, you were in New York, and you said your first case you caught at 11. How was your household? How was the makeup household?
My mother raised me and my oldest brother in New York for a long time. Then we moved to Charleston, South Carolina for a minute, and she met our stepfather, who was like almost our age when she married him, and I couldn't stand it. I hit him upside the head with a bottle as well.
Wow.
I would just go on these rages, and so by the time I was 13, I had been in and out of juvie so much, they said something was wrong. And they had to get to the root of what was wrong, and they would ask me, and I had to make nothing wrong. And I mean, I would run to the judge and everything. I was just violent person. So it was inevitable that my journey ended up in prison because I started off with the first violence. It wasn't until I caught that aggravated robbery, kidnapping, and justification, and went to Marysville in 2001 that I realized what it was. I went to pre-release where Terry was at, and she talked me into coming to this program called the Mosaic Program. And it's a therapeutic program that helps you deal with stuff. I never knew that I had anything to do with it. I thought I was fine. Everybody else was crazy. And I didn't have girlfriends. I had hostages. Wow. And I didn't even realize that they were hostages. They knew they was hostages after a while, but I never knew that I had hostages. I had hostages for years.
Wow.
And then I got to a point to where if my girlfriends wasn't fighting me, I didn't feel loved. You had to fight me in order for me to feel like you loved me, and I never could grasp that. So when I went through the Mosaic program, and they took me back to when I was 3 years old, I had a tendency, a knack for hiding in small places. Like I would get at that table and just suck my thumb and be happy. I like to get in cubby holes and stuff. And so the Mosaic program started talking to me and questioning me about it, and they took me back to when I was 3. And we used to go upstairs to the babysitter's house, and one day my mother was giving me a bath, and I started screaming and crying. And when she asked me what happened, I told her, Bobby touched me down there. When she took me to the hospital, my hymen had been broken and everything. And it messed me up so bad that I can't have children to this day because my fallopian tubes are so scarred.
Okay, let's back up now. Is this a family member?
No, it was the babysitter's son.
The babysitter's son?
The babysitter's son. So when my anger came from, as the Mosaic program took me through this trauma and had me reenacting, they wouldn't let anybody hug you when you cried, and then you had to get it out. And so I'm crying and going through all of this, and that's where all of the rage came from, because not even 2 months later, when it first happened, my mother went up there and she went off on the Miss Alice and the babysitter, and the police came. But 2 months later, maybe 3, she was in the laundromat kicking it with them. Like she was over in the corner talking, and I never forget. And they told me, for me, I never forgot that.
Right.
And I had anger for women, and I didn't know. I thought I liked women, but I hated women. And I had a deep-rooted hatred for my mother, and didn't know that I had this hatred. So I would beat women up, crowbars, cut them, I gave my one with 57 stitches and didn't remember doing it. I was just so prone to violence.
So let me ask you this. Did you feel like your mother betrayed you?
She did betray me. She betrayed me most definitely. Anytime something happens to your child and you talking to that person who did it months later, that's betrayal all day long. Today I can accept that. And I accept my mother, and I love my mother because I'm a child of God first. And I have to love my mother. But I did not like my mother for years. I came home this time right here, and I was able to sit down and talk to her. And she denies it today. Even she won't admit. No, yes. And what made me really angry when I went to go try to have a kid, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, and they said I would never have a children. My fallopian tubes was so much scarring tissue that I never conceived. So I got angry all over again. And so for me, I was penitentiary bound from the womb. And I went through what I went through because I was supposed to. I was supposed to take that walk that I took. And it was a painful walk because I was angry the majority of my life. This is the first time that I've had joy, not happiness, but joy.
Wow. That's a big difference.
Big difference, yes. And I numbed myself with drugs, alcohol. I tried to stay high. I was combating with myself for years and never knew.
So in essence, the penitentiary saved your life.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Yes, it did. This penitentiary bit that I did, you know, people be like, all that time, yup. And out of that time, I found me. Out of all that time, I found me. And I started preparing not to come home, but to stay home.
Wow.
You know, and I met good people. Everyone sitting here. I did plays from the first year I got there to the day that I went home. I did plays and programming and wrote a book. Monique, the comedian, came in. She read it, took it home, and got me published with Triple Crown Publications.
Wow.
I made the Essence bestseller list number 5, number 3, and number 1. I stayed at number 1 till Dutch knocked me off.
That's what's up, y'all.
And I just came home driven. I came home driven with a purpose, you know. Reintegrated myself back into church, asked for forgiveness, and I'm very, very serious about church. I'm very serious about God because he was serious about me.
That's right.
Because there was plenty of nights I walked the streets at 2 or 3 in the morning looking for a fight, looking for someone to bother me, wanted someone to bother me. You know, and it's only by the grace of God that I did not end up in there for murder because I don't beat so many people with crowbars upside their head, stab people, and never killed nobody. And it was nobody but God's grace because I'm not supposed to be sitting here because I was crazy. I was crazy. So I am truly blessed. I can say truly blessed to have been in this prison, truly blessed to have met the people that I met, a lot of people that I intertwined with when I got out and we formed the Unapologetic 12. Lisa Carr called me years ago and came up with this notion to put together a group of women who have been in prison, thus formed the Unapologetic 12. And we was out there filming in Columbus by ourselves, and this movie picked us up. And they started doing a documentary on us this year, Outlaw. I mean, you know, it has been an amazing journey. It really have. We do a play every year, and yes, every year we're at the shelters. We outside. We tend to be everywhere, passing out Christmas gifts, and you know, we come up out of our pocket a lot. Sometimes we get donations, but no matter what, we're there. If we only got $100, we're passing it out. You know, because we got to give back. So, penitentiary bound, blessed to have been, and even greater and happier to be home.
Wow. Wow. What an amazing story. So tell us a little bit about the plays. So what kind of plays you do?
The last one that we did, we went for 2 years this morning. Went everywhere with it. Great reception on it. Was working on a new one, Speaking of the Devil. But I just read one, a mother